Bingi, Okavango, Rasdada, Yaga, Chuck Fender, the Living Fire represent to the fullest. See? Perfect balance. Don't know so. Trad class. Living Fire represent. Keep the fire burning out. What the man will like, keep it like right. This is it.
Yes, I give thanks. I think I'm gonna have a reason point from the other day, my lord. Since 2025, the police in Jamaica have made a stark effort to curtail and curb crime and criminal activity, So we see that since January, almost every day since the beginning of the year, you hear that police have killed someone or multiple people at times. It's very common since the beginning of this year. So we do want to have a little reason what the them think about this and if this is a feasible solution to the crime problem. What the them?
What's the context?
I'm saying like these police killing.
Yeah, but you bring up a conversation and what's the numbers? You know the numbers?
No, I'm not really check the numbers exactly. Because them not going to really give the real numbers. Most of the numbers that them give you are really like towards murders and stuff. But we can't check it, we can't pull it up now.
You come I bring up topic and have thing line up.
Yeah, well, so I said, what do you think about these extrajudicial killings? Make find the numbers in the meantime.
You see, last year, right? Last year or this year?
Just this year.
This year.
Jamaica have a crime fighting strategy where them tend to be retributive in the justice, which focuses more on punishment. Once you commit a crime, you have to pay for it. You see me? And it's widely known in many circles in Jamaica that bad man fi dead without any justice, without any trial, or even getting to hear the side of the story in the courts of the land. So, I mean, these are some issues that we need to look at because based on the justice, whether Jamaican for justice, they say a lot of these crimes and these extrajudicial killings have gone, unresolved because there is no clear case to basically, holding the one responsible or account for the killings.
First thing, Yaga, the thing we said a while ago, bad man for them. I never heard that before.
Oh, that's one.
I never heard that before. Me hear informer for dead. Me hear, certain man with the certain things for dead.
Yeah, because you're not among the law, because you are...
So it's a police talk.
Because you're not among the law-abiding citizens, or among the law-abiding citizens, bad man for dead.
Bad man for dead.
So he's a sympathizer.
Even religious talk, even the pastor agrees a bad man for dead.
Bad man for dead.
I never really hear that one.
Hold on there. You can ask the numbers, right?
Okay.
And this is from the Jamaicans of Justice. They bring out a thing where they're saying that they have seen a 163% increase in police killings in the 2 months of this year. So far this year, and this was as of February 20th, right? There were 50 fatal shootings by the police. 50 compared to 19 in 2024 for the same period. So for the same period last year, the police killed 19. This year them killed 50 already.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So this is why we're reasoning. This is why we're reasoning about it.
That's a bad thing because they never even make it to trial.
How would you know when it's not justified? How would you really know?
That's why I want to know.
When a police shooting is not justified. We're not saying the number is not too high, but how do we know that it is
way too high?
Some ongoing thing then that justifies.
The only way we can know is if these killings happen in the presence of people, right? And a lot of times, because of the sentiments of the people, sometimes you can't even use that as an accurate
Right. Is a bias.
source as well, right? Because sometimes there's a bias, right?
There's a bias.
But what we're saying is, or what I am saying is this, right? This tool, and I believe Yaga was alluding to this earlier, where their method of fighting crime is to actually go out and kill the people who they consider to be the quote unquote crime producers, right? So if a person is a crime producer, then our way of fighting crime is to kill this person. Now, my argument is that if that was a solution to crime, Jamaica would be crime free a long time
that's
ago.
your opinion. That's your opinion, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is my opinion.
No, a while ago, we say a while ago that they go out and kill people like that. Is your opinion?
Well,
But that's not a crime plan that is written down and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is your opinion. This is what your opinion of what you think they are doing.
right, but the actions are showing it. A 50.
No, but it's that process, right?
Which action is showing that?
50 people dead so far this year, a 163% increase.
But if somebody is shooting at the police and the police shoot back, you know what I mean, most likely they are gonna die because the police is trained. Is trained
Right.
to
shoot.
protect themselves in that way. So if somebody is shooting at the police and the police shoot back and they die, you know what I mean? Maybe what we should talk about is why are these so much people shooting at the police?
Well, if you find your life in jeopardy, you go shoot.
Why is the life in jeopardy with the police?
But I'm
No
saying,
matter who.
if you find
Why is
you
the
go
life
shoot.
in
But
jeopardy with the police?
I don't want us to stray away from the reason. You know?
No, this is the reason.
No, but I
Why
think
is
there's-
someone in conflict with the police for the police to be shooting at them?
Right.
Why is someone shooting at the police for the police to be shooting at them?
And Ras, you have an open carry. You have an open carry. We are going to be toting
As
guns.
far as I know, none of these person who was killed by the police is an open carry person.
That's what I'm saying.
None of them is
Yeah,
a
permit for gun. Yeah, permit for gun.
but none of these things, right, justify or explain this 163% increase and 50 people being killed by the police in 2 months.
Well,
That
the way
is-
that's stopping no Ras, you have to get rid of guns. Once you have guns, you're gonna have killing.
Right.
I give everybody
That's
guns.
straight up.
Give everybody guns then.
We can
Yeah,
agree with
you
that,
have
but
guns,
what
you can have
before we go
I'm
there,
saying
sir,
is
before we
this,
go there,
what
sir,
I'm
before-
calling for,
Before we go there, before we go there, sir, right? We are talking about people I get shot by the police, and 160. That 50 person is way too high. You know what I mean? We don't want that to happen. We don't want 50 people to be dying by the hands of the police.
in 2
But
months.
that's way too much.
In
That's
2
way too
months.
much. Even the 19
was
was
too
too
much.
much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I'm saying if people are attacking the police, if people have illegal guns and taking on the police,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Most likely this is gonna be the result. So there's another thing. We have way too much people taking on the police in a shootout.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I've seen the results, and I've not seen any of them this year that's saying that this is the killing that you guys are talking about. That police go and kill somebody because
Right.
them have a gun on them. Most of them are shootouts,
According to the reports by the police.
according to the report by the police. But that's the
According to
report
the
we have.
reports by the police.
But
right.
Ras,
Right?
in reality though, if
Mhm.
you are a man and you wherever you're living, and you're living in Jamaica or wherever, most civilians are not allowed to have guns, right? So once you have a gun, you already violating the law. So when you say they just come and shoot a man, if you have a gun right now and you violating the law, I am the law. I could come for you.
You right.
Dead or
Because you
alive.
break the law already. So you
Dead or
can now
alive.
come and say, I have justice, it's wrong. No, I could come for you.
Dead or
You
Well,
are
alive.
breaking
this
the
is
law.
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm calling for, right? I'm saying that this is not a suitable or effective method of crime prevention or crime fighting. Because if that was the case, right, if that was the case, there would be no crime in Jamaica. Because all of these bad men where the police go for and kill over the years, some of them more notorious than some of them are where them are killed. No, way more notorious, right? So if this was a solution to crime, then crime would have already been solved.
And so much
You
bad
understand?
man wouldn't breed up.
But
You understand?
I
Badness
don't
is an
think this is the
ideology,
solution though.
Badness is an ideology. As you cut down one, many more sprang up.
Yeah.
But
But
policing is never a
I
solution.
don't think the police killing is a solution. I
Yeah.
think that's the last resort. Because
But
a
what
lot
are
of
the
these
results
men who
before?
died.
What are the results that we're seeing before? Like how we're seeing the police killings.
No,
What
I'm
are
saying.
the results that we're seeing before?
So many of these men that were killed, they were put on the wanted list. They were asked to come in, have to turn in themselves. When the police they didn't turn in themselves, police went to go after them, and they confront the police in whichever way.
So
They
that's
were
the
seen
kind of
as
result.
dangerous and must not be approached.
So these men
You
are
could
wanted
approach
men that
them
should turn
just with
themselves.
book,
So the
just in
last
a
resort.
different
So
way.
is most of them died in last resort, and most of them died actually doing crimes.
So the
Yeah,
first
understand?
And
result,
I
the
think
first
if you're
result
advocating
was
for
the
justice,
first
right?
result was to put them on the wanted list, and then the next result is to kill them.
No, the result was to apprehend them, like to get them to go to court.
So the
But
third
they
result.
but when they resist by putting up a fight to the police, you know what I mean? The police have to defend themselves and defend the citizens of the country.
So what we're saying is, what I'm calling for is tangible and feasible steps in crime fighting, where the actual causes of crime are addressed. You
But
understand?
the causes of crime is poverty. Poverty cause man to crime.
Not
That's a
Wait,
really.
tricky
no,
reasoning. That's a
no,
tricky
Not
wait,
really,
reasoning.
no.
wait,
That's a
No.
tricky
not
reasoning.
wait. Poverty in the way men think they poor within the whole understanding roots. That's the poverty we're talking about. Why I say this, right? For example, we're not talking about the unemployed, we're talking about how humans think, right? There are people you grew up with, and you talking about a poor from a socioeconomic position where you have money or you don't have money, right? Poor people, generally speaking, right? They live the best lives because they have something called happiness. They always happy. These so-called people who you look at and you call them poor, they have something they call happiness. You know why? Because they contented. But there's this thing that happens in a man that we call poverty. It is he's going to take any action that is necessary that he deems suitable for himself to survive. So a man will sit down here and contemplate how to rob another man, right? How to go get his things from him. That is the poverty. It's a human condition roots that allows another man to sit here, contemplate how to go kill an next man. That is what we're talking about. Unless those things change, what the I talking about? Crime or curtailing crime, for example, right? That wouldn't really change you because even though you want to advocate for the people who are being killed, one of the first things that is happening is they're breaking the law. So they already so because of that understanding, that misunderstanding, then they have broken the law. That's the first thing. So if you want to be an advocate, you have to be an advocate for those who abide by the law, right? Because the reason why it have it here is to keep structure, right? To keep things organized, to keep things as flowing in a certain way, right? So I'm saying to you, the poverty within that human mind, his nature, is what causes these things. Whether you're law or you're just the citizen, it's the same thing, because there are police who just plotting to kill a man same way too.
Yeah.
Right?
So the resolution that we need is to reach out to these people, especially the youths.
Yeah.
Reach out to these youths to get to them, to let them know that crime is not the way. This bad man image, this bad man lifestyle is not the way. Bingy say poverty And I thought you were talking about them being poor, but these
No
men who
one.
are dying are not
So
financially
how
Yeah,
can
poor
we reach the youth
because
them? How can we reach
Yeah.
them?
but they want to talk about you because some of the age them, see, some of them man, them are 43, some of them are 45. So and not just youth. But we have this bad man culture in the Caribbean and in the West here. We have this bad man culture where it's so cool to be a bad man. It's so cool to have a gun.
Yes,
It's even cool to go and kill somebody. We see it in our music where they just make it cool, like to just bust off a head and you know what I mean, things flash over there so and just you know what I mean, just violence is
It's a
just the
disregard
order of
and a
the day.
disrespect.
Violence is the order of the day, and these things are becoming cool. And then when it become cool now, you have people who feel like them can challenge the police, and the police have to who is trained to deal with things like that. They always end up on the losing side, losing their life. You know what I mean? Paying the ultimate price. So we have to talk about these things first. Why people are choosing this type of a lifestyle.
No,
You know
no,
what I
we're
mean?
getting to the reasoning. No, we're getting to the
Yeah.
reasoning. Because the real
So
reasoning is
one another, me just start. So I don't think the problem is really the police right here. You know what I mean? We know police have problems, but there's problem in the force. You know what I mean? We know there's problem, but I don't think the bigger problem is really the youths who pick up this lifestyle of this gangster lifestyle who they find cool. And we know that there's only the majority of these youth. The price is for that is death. The price for that is death, and young death too. Because most of these they die young.
so that is one thing what have to be considered in crime prevention and crime fighting is the actual cause of these things. So when you know go and come up with a strategy to fight crime, then in that strategy, addressing the causes of these things, why these people are doing these things, is gonna be the step. And it can't just be go down and kill the people them.
So
Because
Rams,
ultimately, yeah.
so what is the cause of most underprivileged youths doing these things? And we're talking about our communities where you see that happening in a wide scale,
You
right?
say it
In-
already,
Bingy,
awareness.
when you say
Right?
underprivileged, what do you mean? What do you mean
Awareness.
by underprivileged?
meaning socioeconomically
Challenge.
deprived
These
communities.
youths, the majority of these youths in Jamaica are not deprived.
Right.
They are not. They are rich. By the way, they are rich. They are millionaires. You know what I mean? Then you cannot listen.
You talking
Not
for the
majority.
majority of
Not
you to
majority.
die in the yard? That can be true. That
Huh?
can be true. Not for the amount of people you just put dying. Some of them, a few of
It's
them
a
might
opinion.
be rich, but for the
Me say,
majority of them,
Bingy,
Opinion.
they're
for them
rich.
50 people who die, them is
They have more
I
than
know
one
why he's
gun.
saying that. I know
They
why
have
he's
more
saying
than one gun, and
Right.
none of them gun is shot at bullets.
And a bigger gun
And
than
those
the
things are
police them
expensive.
gun.
right.
A bigger,
Right.
more
The
powerful,
reason
more
why
expensive gun than the
Okamonga is
police
saying
them
that
gun.
Okay.
is because these weapons, these illegal weapons, cost a pretty penny. Like
Pretty
a
penny.
rifle,
And they have
a
more
rifle
than
is
one.
at
They have
least
more than one.
500,000.
Right.
You understand?
So then how they getting money to
Okay.
buy these guns you're
Okay.
talking about?
I'm getting access to buy them as well.
How we are getting them guns? Do you think about what you're talking about? How we are getting the money to buy the guns they are talking about? Because if you're talking about such expensive machinery, which we know to be true, we
Right.
know that to be true. Where are they
Then
getting
get the money, Bingy.
resources?
Then get the
Then
money.
get the
How them
money.
get the gun? How the gun reach there?
We know that too. How the gun
Bingy.
get there?
So I'm
How
saying,
they get the
Bingy,
resources?
Bingy, what I'm trying to say, they get the money before they get the gun, so they could do other things with the money. So they have money. They have money.
But that's what I'm saying. How they get the money they have?
They have all different type of means to get it.
Right.
All different type of means.
So it's
Huh?
another. It's a lot of times it's another resource or source of crime.
Yeah, man. It's like when
Where
you're
them get
watching
these things through.
Rebel Soldiers, for example, right? You watch them. and they have all this machinery. Is somebody else in the background supplying this machinery,
Yeah,
you know?
man. Yeah, man.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying
man.
to the eye. So there's a player, there's a factor we always miss, you know. It have a man sitting somewhere who responsible for them having that type of weaponry.
Somebody I make
And the
money I make
leadership,
out
the
of it.
leadership,
Crime
and the
pays.
leadership is allowing or fostering it,
Crime
Yeah.
pays.
right? So
Crime, yeah.
So this is what we're saying when we're saying that when we talk about a crime plan, these things have to be evident in the crime plan that, okay, we understand that there are hidden players
Mm-hmm.
in this game. And in this crime plan, these hidden players have to be exposed, identified and exposed, and action be taken to prevent them from either continuing or furthering other people in the continuance of this. You understand? So if at all times the crime plan is attacking the people who are at the end of the chain, and we don't see anything happening with the other people who are way at levels way before them. So then it's not a solution to crime. And this is the reason why I'm really to bring out. I'm not here to justify or condemn
Right.
anything. I'm here to say I want to see a sustainable crime plan. I want to see a functional crime plan, not just to come out and say, oh, we're going to kill off someone because them a bad man or them wanted or them this or them that. No, because we already know that that is not a solution to crime. We already know this. So if you kill off 1 million people, it's still not going to solve crime. So why don't we address the real causes of crime? Why don't we?
I just want to add, I saw the commissioner of police speaking, and he's somebody that I know. He's from my community in Jamaica, not too far from where my grandmother lived. You know what I mean? Somebody that I
Where
know.
you live?
And
Where you live?
you know, I live close to my grandmother. Well, it's the same community. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, I think he's doing a excellent job, as Josh from the Soul Factory would say, he's doing an excellent job. You know what I mean? And I saw him speaking, and he was saying, gunmen or men who are doing crimes should, when the police come for them, they should throw down their weapons and come in and have their day in court, because the police are well trained, and you will lose. Most likely you will lose that battle. So that's my my thing to the men who
You say,
are
throw
doing.
down your arms and come.
Throw down your arms and have your day in court.
And come.
You know what I mean? That's a better way for you. You know what I mean? If you decide to live that type of life.
But the solution, Ras, though, I don't know if there's a real solution, but the people who actually paying the penalty is not the people that they're supposed to focus on, right? They're bigger fish to fry, as we say, right? So them is not the people they're supposed to be focusing on, but we know that, right? Because it's a syndicate. These are the same people who might be your judges. These are the same people who will be a legislator. Right, yeah, but the small man, he always end up on the front line, and that's the problem, right? So when you bring it from that point of view, right? Again, yeah, the small man pay the price, but you now, as the small man, you gotta make a conscious decision, you know, about what you're doing, right? Because I could sit here and say, well, we decide we didn't want to do that. There are millions of people who decide, hey, well, I'm not going to break the law, right? So you're making a conscious decision too, right? To break the law, so then there's consequences. But the real culprit is not the ones who are being held accountable.
Agreed. And this is the call I'm making. This is the call I'm making, that we have to implement a crime plan that actually addresses these things. You understand? And not just this band-aid thing where, this is every time the crime get quote unquote too high, this is the action they take. We've seen it many times. This is how people like Bigger Ford. This is how people like Leng, how people like Adams, how all these people gain their notoriety. Because this is how them deal with them things. You have things like acid, you have ardent, you understand, you have kingfish, you have all of these things where them put out. You understand? And all of them lead to the same result.
I'm still not understanding what you're saying though. They say this is how they deal with it. What? This is how they what? Return fire when somebody shoot at them?
My lord, we already know that not everyone who the police kill shoot at them.
I don't know that.
I know that.
I wasn't there.
I know that.
It's called
You understand?
extrajudicial
The report that we get is somebody they're open for the police and police return fire.
Every incident that the police have with these people, the report is the identical report. Every report.
Yeah.
So how
So
can
you're
it be
saying that it's not so?
you tell me, say, right? Look at the situation that happened the other day when the youth them go try rob the wholesale and barricade themselves at the thing and go up on the live, right? Yeah. So if them never go up on the live, you feel like them when are there today?
I don't know the
I'm
future.
asking what you think. I'm asking your opinion.
I don't know.
You don't
Hold
know.
him,
All
Dada.
right. Yaga, what do
Hold
you
him,
think?
Dada. Hold him, Dada.
Yaga, what do you think? What do you think, Yaga? What do you think?
I don't know what happened. But
We
Dada,
hear
we have seen incidents where people have been turned into the police.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're talking about
So you're going to say like
incident, and I'm asking your opinion.
I'm saying I don't know.
Right.
It's
So you say
sticky.
you don't know, so I'm asking Yaga his opinion now.
It's sticky.
Eh?
It's sticky.
Bingy, what do you say?
It's not sticky. It's not sticky, and there are people who don't shoot and get killed, right? We know that, right?
Yeah, of
Many
course.
people who get killed by police who haven't shot at them or neither had a weapon, as a matter of fact. We know that too. So again, I'm saying no. The resolution to all of this will continue happening because we are distracted on the
From
small
the real
things that
cause of
going
crime.
on. Yeah.
Yes,
These are all
that's what I'm
distractions,
Yes,
Because
man.
now, so
This
you
is what
can
I'm
pay
saying. This is
focus
exactly what I'm saying.
on who you're supposed to be paying focus on. They really distraction, but is that you can have the law is not justice, and I think sometimes we tend to think
That's
that
true
law
too.
means justice. No, law is a set of rules that man decide he implement on other men to control society. Whether it have justice or not in the law is for those who feel justified by the law. But law is not justice.
True.
No.
Well, my opinion is that if those young men had not gone on the live on that day, they wouldn't be here today.
Right.
They would be in addition to whatever the tally was at the time. You understand? And in a bid to save their life, they went on the live and it worked. Thankfully it worked. You
I
understand?
believe if those young men had decided not to go and rob a supermarket, they would have been safe.
That's a
home.
safe belief. That's a safe
Yeah.
belief. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
I
we're
think that would
talking
be the
about what
better-
happened.
the best thing for those young men is not to get themselves into that
Yeah.
We
situation in the
agree with
first
that.
place.
We agree
You know
with
what
that.
I mean? Because they could have easily lost their life. One of them got shot because they also shot at the police. You know what I mean? They
Right.
shot at the police.
Right.
And I think one of them got shot or two of them got shot.
We agree
You know
with
what I
all
mean?
of that.
So they
And
could have
our
easily
police got
lost their
shot as
life.
well.
So young men don't get in confrontation with the police. Don't choose a life of crime.
Right.
And
So we have to give them an alternative. We have
Right.
to present an
Right.
alternative because we see that a lot of them are choosing a life of crime. So if we're going to say to them, young men, don't choose a life of crime, an alternative has to be presented to them where they have access to these things that
Do
we're
some
presenting as
farming,
an
man.
alternative. A lot of them don't have access to the land.
You know, say carrot, sweet pepper shot at Jamaica, cucumber shot, lettuce high because them think they shot nobody can get them.
Yeah, but
man.
a lot of them don't have access
So
to
the
land.
farming sector need a lot of workers.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't have access to land. A lot of
They have
people in
access
the
to a
city
phone. Go
don't
learn
have access to
AI.
land.
Go learn for code.
Right. Learn coding. So these are alternatives.
Yeah, man. And the government needs to
Right. So this
invest.
is what we're saying.
The
So I'm
government needs
saying
to
we don't just
invest in
want to
it.
leave. Right. We don't just want to say, oh, don't choose a life of crime. We want to say, in alternative, an alternative to choosing a life of crime is you can do some farming. If you don't have access to land, you can do above ground farming where you do boxes and plant. My brethren have a program where I do in grow 15 head of lettuce out of 1 5 gallon container. You know the plastic gallon, 5 gallon one them? 15 head of lettuce in a 1 5 gallon container. 15 head of lettuce.
Yeah.
You
And
understand?
in a confrontation with the police.
Right.
Let it save him.
Yeah, man.
Agriculture
let it save
save
him.
him.
But as we are saying, you see them people that we are doing them thing there.
Mhm.
You them we are shoot up a police. Them have money, so I know money are them problem. Money is not their problem. You know what I mean? They have different problems. They have cultural problems. Things that we need to
Right.
get out
We
of the culture. You
adjust.
understand?
These are the things
Because
that we adjust.
yeah, man, because the people them who poor them are them try go sell something up on the roadside or you know what I mean? Them not get no confrontation with the police because them a try a hustle. But we find out say the one them will have a certain amount of money. I get not them conflict there. Yes, I.
Well, as we are saying, we have
Wrap
to
it up, Bingy.
attack the real.
No, let me get on that.
Yeah, man, we have to
that.
attack the real causes of these things and not just jump to, killing the people, them, brother. That's what we are saying. So give thanks to the moment, man. Yes, sir.
And I said the perfect balance, third class. I don't know, say a Chuck Fender, the living for this represents. Good over evil, me tell them, see a life over death. I swear, said I will never switch. Keep the fire burning out. Holy Manuel I Selassie, Jah, blazing fire.